I'm so excited to see your faces. Hi, Malachi. Hi, Kylie. McKenna Monterella. We have the Gracias. Hi. Alexis and Lindley. And, oh, that one has a really weird name on it. I'm not sure who that is. A blonde, and you have a mirror behind you, and you have a blue wall. What's your name?
Sadie.
Sadie, that's Sadie. Okay, hi, Sadie. Last time I saw you, you had a mask on, so I'm not sure what your face looked like. Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah? Okay, awesome. Looks like we have Cameron too, but she doesn't have video just yet. We'll wait for everybody to get on. Hi, Cameron. Is everybody happy to have really nice weather today and no snow and ice? Yes, me too. Malachi, what does this mean?
Kinda.
Kinda? Why kinda?
I like the snow.
You know, I did too, but I much rather like today's picnic kind of weather. I'd rather be out hanging out outside today. Cameron's getting her box ready. So we didn't have homework for this one. But if you, I think I said on your sheet, I think I said to gather a couple of items, to gather a pair of scissors and tape. Tape we're not really going to use. It's a just in case thing. But a couple of other things that you could gather is a pencil. And if you are able to, some kind of measuring device, preferably something that could measure a long ways, like a measuring tape, like sewing tape. You can have a ruler if you don't have those other items. If you don't have a ruler or measuring device, you could use just a piece of paper. This is going to be almost 12 inches. It's just under 12 inches. So you could always use a piece of paper. So it's around 11. You could use a piece of paper to kind of help you measure. It's not a huge deal if you can't measure, but try to find something that you'll be able to measure. A pen, it can be a pen, just as long as you're okay with if you have to erase or change anything. You'll just have to carefully mark it out and write next to it. Hi, Charmisons. That'll work, Lindley. That's a pretty one too.
Thanks.
It's nice and gold and sparkly. Hi, Katie. How many do we have in now, Todd? Seven. $12. Okay, there we go. 12. Thanks for using the chat box. I can see it pop up really quickly. Today, I have you guys far away enough that I can't touch my screen at all. So I can't pop up there and see what you guys are saying. So Todd will have to help me out with that part. Are you guys excited about this box? Yeah? Hi, Ella. Hi, McKenna. McKenna Branson. McKenna M and McKenna B. Is that okay with you guys? Or do either of one of you have a nickname? Hi, Maislin.
Hi.
McKenna B and McKenna M, do either of you have a nickname? Yeah? McKenna M, what's your nickname?
Unmute.
I think she's trying to figure it out.
Mac.
Mac? So do you like to be called Mac, or is that for family only?
I don't know. The only time we had was in Colorado.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So is McKenna M okay to call you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. McKenna M. Hi, JC and Zoe. Hi, Lana. Lana Banana. Ooh.
That's from a different thingy. I don't think I can change it.
Well, it still says it.
Well, oops.
That's okay. My niece's name is Joanna, and I call her Joanna Banana. And she's a grown-up almost. She's a young grown-up, and she's already moved out of the house. And I still call her Joanna Banana.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Kylie. It looks like we have Jolie. Hi, Jolie. Are you so excited to do your box? Yeah. And Maddie, I see Maddie. Crossland and Gatlin. Got their names up there. Okay. If you know how to change your name up in the top, I think it's in the top. Todd might have to help walk you through that. Just in case if you have like your parents' name because you're using your parents' computer, you might ask for help to change your name so that we can help call on you or help you out if you have any issues. If you don't know how to change your name on the computer screen, that's okay. But if you want to, you can get one of your grown-ups to help you change that.
If that's something that you want to do, go down to participants, or if you're using an iPad, find the participants tab and it'll open a new window. Find yourself, and then there'll be a blue button that says more. Under more, click on rename, and you can name yourself your name.
JC, you said that Jacob isn't going to be on today. Tell him he's missing out because this one's going to be super cool.
Yeah, Zoe, you petted it.
Okay. Okay, it is 6:30. Todd, how many do we have in now?
21, including you and me.
Okay. You think we're good to start, or do we need to wait a little bit longer? We had 40 kids sign up for our box again this month, guys. That's pretty exciting. We had 40 last month and 40 this month, and we had about half of them show up for our Zoom meeting. So that's pretty exciting. That's a lot of fun being had. Hi, Morgan. I just now saw you on there. And Jake is on.
Yep.
Maddie, you're making me dizzy. Where are you going? She was walking around and it was going crazy. Do you have any more in the waiting room right now?
No.
Okay. So I'm seeing that some of our friends are already putting their name in the chat box. So I'll go ahead and make another quick announcement on that. Todd would like for you to sign in today by typing your name in the chat box and your club. Is that correct, Todd?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So you'll type your name in the chat box and your club. That way we can write you down as being present at this fun meeting that we're about to have. And my name's Alexis, just in case for those of you that haven't met me yet or don't know me yet. I think we're finally starting to get to the point to where a lot of you, I've seen at least all of you, I think at least one time, even if it's just on Zoom, I think I've seen you at least one time. And I think we're pretty good to get started. We'll go ahead and get started. And if there's more people in the waiting room, Todd can let them in. I'm excited about this one. The actual activity of making what we're making is a fairly quick make. We're a craft that's pretty quick. It's the testing, the launching that's going to take the most time, and that's the fun part. So all of it's fun, but it's going to be pretty good. So we're making 3 things today. All of you got the supplies to make everything. We are making 2 different kinds of catapults. We are making this one. So this is going to be labeled, well, we're going to label them later. This one is our little catapult, okay? This one is our big catapult. It's like a triangle shape. And then we're making a popper. It's just a cup with a balloon on it. So we've got little, big, and we've got a popper. And they all 3 launch their own missiles in different ways. So we're going to talk about that for just a second. So catapults have been used for thousands of years. The pirates used them to take down ships. The medieval knights used them to take down castles. And even the Romans and the Greeks used them even 2,000 years ago. So catapults have been used for a very long time, very primitive ways, and there's some pretty fancy ones now. And Malachi put into the chat, Vikings used them. Absolutely. They've been used all over the world for all different things. A lot of reasons back then were destruction. They were for war. But now they can be used for science reasons, for all kinds of things. And today we're kind of going to be talking about force and trajectory. I mentioned the word missile already. We're talking about energy, stored energy. So these things are science related and math related. So these fun things that we're making, we're going to be learning as we go. But we're learning a little bit more than just how to craft something with spoons and sticks. So a catapult works because energy can be converted from one type of item to another. So the stick and the spoon in this situation, and there's also a stick and a spoon in this, the energy will be transferred from this object to whatever it is that we're going to catapult off of it. So the energy from this stick and spoon will be transferred onto the item that is in this little cup, and it will fling through the air. And that is considered stored energy. And as it's flinging through the air, that is called trajectory. So any item that is flung through the air has a trajectory. The trajectory is just the path that your missile takes. And the item that we are putting in these, we are using today, we're using marshmallows. That's what everybody has, is a marshmallow. There are several other things that you could use. We'll talk about that in a second too. But anything that you put into motion, anything that has a target to hit, is considered a missile. Did you guys know that? I thought that missiles were only things that you dropped from a plane and you like bombed a place or something. Like I thought that that's what a missile was. Or when it's launched out of a ship in the sea and it goes to hit another ship, like Battleship, the game, if any of you have played that. I thought that that's what a missile is. But a missile is actually any object at all that is just propelled at a target. And it doesn't have to be an actual round target like you see, like you got in your box. A target can be labeled as something that you're launching at. So it could be, like I said, a ship or a castle or the wall with a target on it. So there's that. So we've got missiles, we've got force, we've got stored energy, and we've got trajectory. So we're going to talk about those as we continue to go. We are using marshmallows as our launchers. We've got 5 big ones and then we've got the smaller ones. Let's talk really quickly. What are some other soft items? Because remember, if we're going to be launching these in our houses, we have to be safe and be careful. What are at least 3 other soft items that we could use to launch on these things besides marshmallows?
Cotton balls.
Cotton balls, absolutely.
Whipped cream.
Cotton balls. What else? What'd you say, Malachi? Whipped cream.
Pie face. Let's go.
That would make a mess. Lindley.
A chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip. That's small and it probably wouldn't be too hard. I saw somebody put in the chat box pom-poms, and that's exactly one of the other things I was thinking too. So little pom-poms like these. Cotton balls, pom-poms, marshmallows. Chocolate chips would be kind of fun, especially if you're aiming at somebody's mouth. But you'd have to wear some safety glasses or something. JC, you have your hand raised. What do you think?
No, don't say it. I think, well, streamers could be soft, but they would make a mess like whipped cream.
What was the thing you said?
Streamers.
Streamers?
For a birthday party.
That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If you had several set up at the same time and everybody set off a streamer, then the whole room would be filled with streamers, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's something that I wanted to visit with you about. Another thing on this one too, let's talk about it for just a quick second and then we're going to get started. These are made with marshmallows, and I made this one. Oh, I think I made this one several weeks ago by now, like maybe 2-3 weeks ago by now. And I don't know if you can hear this. I want you to listen. That's a marshmallow that made that sound. These are hard as rocks. I can't even squeeze them anymore. They're really hard. But what is something else that we could use instead of marshmallows if we wanted to make this a little bit more permanent, a little bit more sturdy, a little bit more, have a better foundation? What are some other soft things that would eventually harden that aren't food so that it's a little safer and it doesn't mold or attract mice or something? Malachi, what do you think?
Play-Doh.
Yes, Play-Doh. Absolutely Play-Doh. That is what my thought was too. Lindley, what do you think?
Hot glue.
Hot glue. Who said hot glue? McKenna M., what do you think?
Clay.
Clay? Absolutely. So that's similar to Play-Doh. It just might dry a little differently. Anybody else? I saw one other person I thought had their hand raised. JC, what do you think? What's something else that we could use besides marshmallows?
I mean, you could use pom-poms, but they won't harden, but it could make a soft landing for it.
It would make a good landing, that's for sure. But it definitely wouldn't be able to hold the sticks that we're going to push into it. So another idea, if you ever want to make these again, outside of this fun little class, you could use clay, you could use Play-Doh, and that would harden similarly to these, and it wouldn't attract rodents and things like that. So that's another thought if you ever wanted to make that again. Okay, are we ready to get started? Okay, so first things first, let me talk to you about patience. I know it's really hard, especially when we have exciting things to fling things across the room with, but we're going to build all 3 first and test last, because I know if I start testing, I'm not going to want to stop to make the other 2. I just want to keep testing and flinging things across the room. So we're going to build all 3 first, and then we'll start testing all 3. Does that sound good? Yeah? Okay. We're going to start with our small one. So you need all of your sticks, your craft sticks. You need rubber bands. So get those handy, and you need 1 spoon. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take 2 of the craft sticks, We're going to put them together, stack them on top of each other. And we're going to take one of our rubber bands. And we're going to put it kind of towards the end, maybe about an inch away. And I know most of you probably have little hands, but normally, rule of thumb, this part of your finger right here is almost an inch. So you can just use that just to kind of see, oh, okay, yeah, right there. I'm going to put my rubber band there and just wind it around tightly, as tight as you can without making it snap. We don't want it to snap. So there we go. And it opens up just a little bit, like a duck face, like a duck lip, like that. And you can set that to the side. Take all the rest of your sticks and stack them in a stack. And then you're going to put rubber bands on the ends of it too, just the same way that we did on the first stack. Just twist, twist, twist as tight as you can go without letting it snap. You should have extra rubber bands just in case you have any that snap. So it should look like that. And while we're waiting for some of our friends to finish that part of it, spread out your rubber bands that you do have left and pick out the smallest ones. You'll see that some of them are bigger, like that one. And then I've got like this one that's quite a bit smaller than it. Pick out two that are some of the smaller looking ones and set those aside for just a minute. I want to use those somewhere specific, and I'll tell you why when we get there. Okay, it looks like we're almost to the part where everybody's getting okay. So now we want to open this side. Whoop. It's kind of slippery. It wants to flip away. So you kind of stick your finger in there just a little bit and hold it open. And then you're going to take this one and slip it in. And you're going to push as far as you can down and hold it there. Okay, and now you're going to take that smallest one that we talked about. Let me see if I can get this at the best angle so I can show you. And you're going to put it on one side. And then you're going to hold it on the opposite side. Whoop, it's wanting to come apart. And then you're going to bring it on the other side like that. And you can go across the other way. So there it's there. I'm going to come on this side. I'm going to go there and then that way.
I'm confused.
Who said they were confused? Raise your hand and unmute. Sadie? More than just Sadie. Okay, you're not the only one. Lindley's got her hand raised too. Okay, let me take mine apart and I'll show you again. It's hard to hold on to. So right now I've got my finger under here and I've got my thumb up here. And I'm going to squeeze that as best I can so hopefully it doesn't come out. I'm going to take this rubber band and I'm going to put it on this side. It's just hanging there. Okay. Then I'm going to switch hands and I'm going to hold this closed. I'm going to bring it over here, pull it back over and let go. So now it's gone under here and it's on top of here and on top of this side. Does that make sense? Alexis, you're having trouble too, aren't you?
It didn't work.
You can also crisscross it. Let's try crisscrossing it. Maybe that will be easier. So now that it's on there, so we've got it off again, okay? So we're gonna put it on one side. We're gonna put it on this other side so that it's crisscross right here, like the top. You can kind of see that it's across. Okay, don't get frustrated, it's okay. Okay, I don't have it on there at all. I just have it in my hand, okay? It's getting wonky, give me just a second. Okay. Put it on both of those and bring it across like this. Okay. And then you can twist it like that, just like if you're putting it around your ponytail, and just keep going around and around. And then you can put a second one on. Lindley, go get your mama, honey. Go get your mom to help you. Go get your mom and she can help us.
My mom is not here.
Okay. Let me walk you through it again. I'm going to do this other side. Okay. Let me take this off. That way you can see it the way yours is. Do you have one on yours at all?
No.
Okay. Okay. Can you put your camera back on so I can see your hands? Can you hold it up next to the camera so I can see what you're doing too? Okay, so you've got that part right. Absolutely. Now take your yellow. Okay, and you've got it on there. Put it on one side. Okay, and then now is this one yellow down here that you have? So you have red here and you have yellow here. So pull it on that side too, so that it's like crisscross on there. See how it's across right here? That's perfect. You have it perfect. Good job. Okay, now we're going to, I have it open and I need to twist it. Okay. And then I'm going to put it on the other side too. You just keep opening and twisting and putting it over top. And it doesn't have to look perfect. It just has to hold it there. Let me see what you've got, Lindley. Everyone that's done theirs, hold yours up and show me what you've got. JC, are you having problems? Good job, Zoe. Good job, JC. Okay, Lindley, let's put another one on. You have another rubber band? Good job, guys. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. It just needs to hold it in place. That's all. How are you doing, Lindley? Is it sticking? When you're ready to move on to the next part, it's okay if you're not, but if you're ready to move on to the next part, you get your spoon and you put the cup part facing up. Okay, so it should look like this. Good job, Lindley. That looks perfect. Very good. Okay. So it should look like that. And you just want to take a couple more rubber bands and you want to twist one around to where you've got one that's low like this one and another one that's up higher close to here. That way it's really strong. So you're just going to take your rubber band and put it over top of the spoon and just start twisting. You don't want to do it too many times to where it snaps, like we talked about earlier. And I'm going to move it down just a little bit, and then I'm going to add one more right here.
I think Kelby has a question.
Who has a question?
Kelby.
Kelby. Hi, Kelby. Where are you? I don't see you.
I'm confused.
You're confused?
Can you back up on the spoon? She's sorry, we logged on a little late. She's to the part.
Okay.
Okay, look. Watch.
Let me take.
She's put it on the end. This one right here.
Do you want me to take mine off completely? Got it? Okay. And then I just put one more up at the top here too. That way it's a little stronger. So I just put it here. There we go. There. Is everybody starting to look like this or already looking like this? All right.
Yep.
Malachi, I know you finished yours way early. All right. So this is number 1. Do we have any others that have questions right now? Good job, Lindley. See, you got that. I think Kelby's working on hers still. JC, Alexa, are you eating your marshmallows? You better not be.
Good remember. There are marshmallows.
You had marshmallows in your bag, in your box, and you thought you needed to eat some too, huh?
Yes.
Let's just make a rule right now. If you launch a marshmallow across your house, make sure you do not eat that marshmallow. Okay. If you have packages of marshmallows at home, go ahead and get them and eat them while we're doing this. But don't eat the ones that you have yet. And actually, make sure you ask a parent before, because I'm not the one that makes the rules at your house.
Samir, wow.
Okay, so it looks like we've got most of us have these made. Is there anybody that's still working on it? I think we're pretty good. I think we're moving on. And now I see some friends munching on some food and snacks, some marshmallows. Okay, so this is our first one. And now we're moving on to our big one, okay? Please be careful when you're using your skewers. That's what these are called. You need to gather these skewers. They are obviously, you've seen them come out of your box. They are sharp, so please be careful when you're using these. For those of you that are a little younger, the Clover Bud group, ask a grown-up for some help with this one and the next one if you feel like you need some help. You need your 5 large marshmallows, okay? Your skewers, you need your last spoon, and you need probably 2 rubber bands.
And Jessica has a question.
Jessica.
You can unmute, Jessica.
I still can't hear her, but she unmuted, I think. Todd, do you need to help her with muting or unmuting?
No, she's unmuted.
Okay. You might have to type something in the chat box, honey. For some reason we can't hear you.
Yeah, why don't we do that, Jessica? If you can open the chat box, I'll read your question.
Okay, she's nodding her head right now. Okay. We'll go ahead and talk about this and kind of get started. And then once we find out what her question is, we'll address that in just a moment. So we want to take 3 of our skewers, and we've got our marshmallows here. We're going to make a triangle. You can kind of see my space. I've got them in a triangle shape. We're just going to push our skewers into our marshmallows. Right now it just looks like kind of like wheels. And then we're going to make the shape of a triangle like this. Okay. So you just push them in, just 3, and we're making a triangle shape. Once you've done this part of it, hold it up and show me so I can see that you're done and ready to move on. Good job, Morgan. Good job, McKenna M. Good job, Kaden. Hi, Kaden. Don't bite it. Oh. Okay, Maddie, you little turkey. You look like a walrus. Sadie, good job. Cameron, did you just show me yours and Katie's? Yep, I see it. Good job. Good job, McKenna B. Jody. Is it Jody or Jolie? I thought it was Jolie. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. And Sadie and Alexis, good job, guys. Charmersons have got theirs done. Good job. I can see them. All right. So the next thing, we are going to take the sharp end and we're going to poke it into each marshmallow facing up, sticking up. Kind of stick it kind of in the middle of the marshmallow, sticking straight up just like that. And then you're going to top it. So you're going to gather them together over in the middle to where they all meet at the top, and you're going to push the marshmallow into them or push them into the marshmallow. And you kind of want to push them just until you feel them kind of on the other side. You don't want to necessarily poke it all the way through, just enough where you can feel them on your finger, just a little. So now we have this 3D triangle shape. Okay. If you've got it done, hold it up. Good job, McKenna V, Kylie. Some of the Charmesons. There we go. Maislin, good job. McKenna M, Sadie, Lindley. Don't eat it. Oh my gosh, you guys. Worthington.
Alexis, do you have any questions? Alexis Haynes, do you have any questions? Okay.
Crosslands, how yours looking? Good? Okay. Good job. Cameron and Katie have it. JC and Zoe, you're good? Is Jacob doing his too? How rude. I'm going to have to get him. For those of you that don't know, JC and Zoe are my nieces, and Jacob is my nephew, and he's decided to not do his project. I'm going to have to get him.
He's playing on his Xbox.
Oh, okay. All right. So we've got one last one that we're going to put in here. And I'm going to show it to you backwards so that you can see what I'm doing. You're going to go through one of the triangles and push it into the marshmallow straight ahead. Okay, so it's going to be sticking out like that. Can you see that? So I went through this triangle and poked it into this marshmallow. The wizard behind the curtain.
I do not
Todd
have
is,
another skewer.
what is it, Mr. Oz, Dr. Oz? What do you call it? The Wizard of Oz.
I don't have another skewer.
You should have 7. Who doesn't have this skewer? Lindley?
I ate one of my skewers.
I hope you didn't eat a skewer. That doesn't sound good. Everybody should have 6 or 7 skewers.
I only have
Should
6.
be 6. You have 6. Do you have any chopsticks at home?
I think we have another skewer.
Okay. If you have another skewer at home, or a chopstick might work too. Or if you have a small little dowel. If all else fails, maybe a popsicle stick. I'm not sure if that would work or not. And I did it backwards. I forgot this part. We're going to take this piece back out. Sorry, guys. We have to put the spoon on first. I forgot. So let's put our spoon on. So we took out that one that we just pushed in. And we're going to line it up on the spoon. I have it ending like right here. I don't know if you can kind of see. And I'm going to put...
Tape it?
You can tape it if you have tape and you want to. I'm going to use the rubber bands to go around several times until it's too tight. And I'm going to just move it down a little bit. And see, when I flip on it, it wants to come up right there. So I want to put one more rubber band right here so that it doesn't do that.
Rosalind had a good idea. I guess somebody's missing a skewer.
Yes, what's your idea?
She said it might be under the fold of the bottom of her box. And she asked where she found one.
Definitely look there, Lindley, if you, or anybody else too, if you think you're missing something. Look under the flaps of your box because it might have rolled around and gotten stuck in there. Okay, so I've got 2 rubber bands on my spoon, and I'm going to just do the same thing we already did. Go through the triangle and push through there. And it's floppy there, and that's okay. We're going to take one more rubber band, and I'm going to place it on top, over top of this marshmallow, just like that. And then under my spoon. And that's what holds your spoon up, like that.
Can you wait just a second?
Absolutely.
Can you redo that part?
Yes, I can. Okay, so you have your spoon that's already on, and you have your stick that's inside your marshmallow. So I'm going to take my rubber band, make sure you can see it, put it over top of my marshmallow like that, and then over my spoon like that. And then it will just rest really nicely in there. Good job, Lindley. Does anybody else still need to catch up? Kylie, okay. Everybody else good? Or getting there?
I still couldn't caught up.
Okay. Still getting that spoon on, aren't you? Okay. Some of those rubber bands are are extra stretchy. And if it's extra stretchy, it takes a lot of twists and turns to get around there, doesn't it? Okay. Good job, Zoe. Nice job, Sadie. Cameron, nice. Good job, McKinney. Lindley, did you find something to use? Yeah?
Yeah, we had a long skewer.
Okay, perfect. That works. I'm glad you had something. That was lucky, huh? Okay, everybody, if you're done with this part of the project, if you're done with this catapult, raise your hand or put up your thumb. Okay. Worthingtons, we're good to go. Marshmallow eating faces. Okay, I'm gonna move that out of the way. Okay, so now we're gonna make the cup. So you need to get your cup, and you only need one of these, but I included two so that if you wanted to make another one later, you can use this because it's a fun game for you and somebody in your family, siblings, a parent, a friend. So you have the option to make two. Is everybody ready for this part? We're not blowing up you guys can play with your balloons, but we're not actually going to blow them up. Okay, so this part, this is where we need, maybe if you're a clover bud, you might need a buddy for this. You might need some parents' help, a grown-up help, a big sibling, somebody to help you out with this part. We're going to be very careful with this part. We're using our scissors. Let's talk about scissors for just a minute. If you got your scissors from the kitchen, if you got your scissors from a craft supply area, if you got your scissors from an office area or school supply area, you should be fine. If you picked up your scissors next to some sewing supplies, next to a sewing machine, or in a sewing box, you just might get hunted down and beaten if you use those scissors. If any of you have a parent or a family member that is really talented in the sewing department, they will get you if you use their sewing scissors for this project. So make sure that you are using craft scissors or some other type of scissors, not sewing scissors, okay? They're just different and it will ruin them and if they try to use it on fabric again after this. So make sure you're using some scissors that you got in a good spot, okay? So we have our cup upside down. I have my scissors and I'm gonna turn my cup to the side like this. And I'm gonna put my scissors on the edge just like this. And I'm gonna snip. Just a little tiny snip. Just on that edge right there. You can't even see the hole. I made a teeny tiny snip. I want it to be small because I don't want it to crack the whole side. That's one of the reasons we got tape, just in case that happens. So now that I've got this hole, I can carefully get my scissors into that hole. I might have to snip it again, but I can get my scissors into that hole and I'm only gonna cut this top little part out. So I'm just gonna snip around the edge, just like that. It's hard to show you the right angle on the camera, but you're just gonna snip around the edge and be careful with the cup edge too, because it's a little sharp. So just be really careful and make sure you take your time, be patient with it, and you just snip around the whole top of that, okay? So now I've taken off that part. So now I can see through it and I don't have a bottom on my cup anymore. I've cut that away, okay? Did everybody get that done safely? We're working on it still. Good job, Kylie. Nice job, Lana. That looks kind of cool on there, doesn't it? That's cool. Very good. Good job, Morgan, McKinney, Lindley. That looks really cool to see you guys through a tunnel. That's neat. Okay. And now we're going to take our balloon and we're going to use our scissors again, and we're gonna snip. It's hard to hold on to. We're just gonna snip just this little top part, like right. Oh, it's awfully wobbly. Okay, we're gonna snip. Let me try again. There, now I can hold it up here. We're just gonna snip just this top part off, okay? We don't wanna go down really far. We wanna snip just a little off the top. Let me show you really quickly and show you that it's not a lot. And it might be a little hard to cut because it's the material that it is. Okay, so I just took just a little off the top, just a little. It's not very much. So you should have a hole at the top of your balloon. And now you're going to stick your fingers in that. This is the part that you normally put your mouth on, blow it up. You're going to stick your fingers inside here, like that. And you're going to stretch it over top of your cup, like that. Okay. And if you have a spot like right here where it's kind of close to the edge, you might try to tug that down just a little bit, but it's okay. It's pretty tight on there. And I am going to take one of my rubber bands just to help give it a little.
How did you get it to where the cup doesn't fold in on itself?
That's a good question. This one's not doing it, but my original one that I made did that a little bit. Let me see what yours looks like. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, pull your balloon off. Let me see what.
Good, because of the way I cut it.
Maybe it might be that it's, did you, okay, let me show you. Did you
cut it all the way to the line.
That might be why. It might not be as strong there. It might be a little more flimsy down there. If you cut down here at this ridge, it's real flimsy. You can see that even when you squeeze it, it's really, really flimsy. Whereas when you put your fingers right here, when you squeeze, it doesn't really squeeze very well. So it's a good thing you have two cups. Malachi, go ahead and start over and only cut just that top part. Don't go down to that second rim, okay? Does anybody else kind of have the same problem? Yeah, it's okay. You've got a second cup. It's no problem. And a lot of you might even have cups like these at home, just regular plastic cups if you happen to need an extra. Is everybody doing okay?
Only cut this bottom. So you only cut the bottom. You don't want to cut the rim. Right, exactly. You can cut, let me show you what this one looks like. You can cut, Lindley, can you see this? You can cut here, just don't cut where this little lip is, where that second lip is, but you can cut the top.
It helps turning that balloon inside out.
That's okay. Did it fit on there better this time?
Yeah.
If the cup is being flimsy, then you're going to put the other cup underneath it and then put the balloon on it and then slip it out.
There you go. That was smart. So Kylie had a good idea. If you're having trouble with it kind of folding and being squishy, she said put your cup that you didn't cut yet underneath of it like that. So you've got both cups. And then you put your balloon on so that it's stronger, and then you can pull this cup away. So great job. Good idea, Kylie. And you can go ahead and put a knot in this if you know how. It's not a big deal if you don't, but when you have the smaller marshmallows in there, they might get caught in there. But that if you don't know how to tie a balloon knot, you might ask for help from a buddy, a grown-up, a sibling, something like that. And I did add my rubber band here just to kind of help me, because when I pull this, I I want for it to be just a little extra strong. Okay. So this is your popper launcher. So we've got 3 launchers now. Are we ready to try some launching? Okay. So first, let's start with this one here. And let's get our target and let's place it on the table in front of us. You can't really see my table, but I have it right here in front of me. And I've got my launcher in front of me. And I'm going to grab one of my small marshmallows and I'm going to carefully set it in there. And I'm going to put my finger, let me show you. I'm going to hold my finger on this rubber band. I'm going to hold it down to my table there to help give it some structure. And let's try with just a little bit of force. So you can see what my finger is doing. I'm going to take my marshmallow off. Am I dragging my finger all the way down to the table right now? No. I'm going to start first with just a little bit of force. I'm just barely even touching it. I just want to see what it does. Okay. So let's see if you guys can hit in the middle of your bullseye or get some points on your target, and try it a couple times with just a little bit of force. Like, see, it's just hopping, just barely hopping. Let's do it just a little bit and see if we can get it onto our target.
I'm having a bit of trouble with the cup still.
Are you? Let me see. Let me see your cup.
Well, it keeps crumbling it.
The balloon does?
Yeah, it's the rubber band, actually.
Oh, the rubber band? Leave the rubber band off. Let's see if yours will work without the rubber band. Maybe the rubber band that you chose is one of the stronger ones. It's not as stretchy. Let's try it without the rubber band and see if that helps.
It doesn't work without the rubber band.
It doesn't work, so you tried it without the rubber band. Malachi, look at your other rubber bands. Do you have one that's maybe not as
I do
strong?
not have an extra rubber band. I actually had to take one off of the first one.
Oh, okay, okay. Maybe try one that's not as small. Like the difference in this one, it's really small and it's real thick, so that means it's stronger. The ones that are thinner are not as strong. They're a little more stretchy. Maybe you might have to switch it out for one that's a little bit more stretchy.
Hello? I got in the middle. I got a 10, 8, and a 2.
Nice job. I see some little marshmallows flying. Okay, now let's go ahead and try it. I'm sure you guys have already tried this, but let's pull it all the way down as far as we can to the table and then fling it and see what happens. And I like that some of you are already sitting on the floor, because that's one thing that you're going to notice is you're going to have to probably sit on the floor to be able to do some of these, because they go so high. Their arc is so high that it's going to hit your ceiling when you're sitting at your table. So you might have to actually get down in the floor to do some of these a little higher. So what are we noticing so far when we have a little, Lindley, you had your hand raised. Did you have a question? No? Okay. What are we noticing so far when we give it a little bit of pressure, just a little flick, and when we take it all the way down to the table? What's the difference? What are we observing right now? I can still see marshmallows flying. Jolie? What are you observing? What are you noticing? Do you know how to unmute yourself? She's raising her hand. Todd, can you unmute her? Or does she have to push it? I think she's got a grown-up to help. Maybe. There you are. You're unmuted.
I realized that if you put it all the way to the table, then it will float all the way to the ceiling and bounce on the floor.
Absolutely. So you're observing that when you take it all the way to the table and it pops up, it's going a lot higher, isn't it? And it doesn't go quite as high when you do just a little bit of force, right? Very good.
Yeah.
Now let's switch now. Let's go ahead and switch to this big one, and let's compare them and see what happens. So we're going to start off with just a little bit of force, a couple of flicks, and then we're going to take it as far as we can. So let's see what happens and what the difference is. And I'm going to put my hand on the top here. And even just a little bit of force, and this one goes pretty far. It wants to fall off, so you kind of have to pull it back. So just a little bit, and it just goes a little ways. But when you pull it back, it goes really far. Any of you that were able to gather up a measuring tape, I'd like for you to find the longest part of your house. Like for me, it would maybe be a hallway. I would like for you to find a hallway. It went in your hallway.
It will work if I don't end up eating all the small ones.
Exactly. That's why I said don't eat them. I'd like you to find an area where you think you could launch it the farthest if you have a measuring device. And you can do it without one too, but I'd like for somebody to measure and see how far their marshmallow can go when you pull this one back all the way. And then do it again with this one pulled back all the way. And let's compare and see how far each one of them can go. And we're going to get to this one next, but let's try to be patient and not do this one. I know I've seen some of you playing with it, but let's stick with this one for just a little bit.
Mine launched all the way to my living room.
It went all the way to your living room, and you're still using the big one, right?
Yeah.
McKenna B, she's in a hallway. I can see her launching it down the hallway. Mason, have you launched yours across the room yet?
This one, it went like 4 foot. Mine went
across the whole living room.
Hey, I have one.
And if you guys can, you should probably, you might want to switch your view to gallery view so you can see all of your friends launching theirs too.
Oh my God.
It's really fun to see everybody launching theirs too. Crosland said ours is 90 centimeters on both. So you tested it, Crosland, you tested it with both and they both went the same length? Wow. That's very interesting. Did you expect that to happen? No, I wouldn't either. I would think that this one would still go a shorter distance. It's interesting how that changes. Now, Crosland and anybody else that is listening and wants to try, can you also do another experiment for me? Can you take this one and let's do an experiment and let's see what difference it makes if you move this set of sticks further this way. Let's see what happens and what kind of trajectory and what kind of arc it has. So let's just move this set up a little bit. You might have to wiggle it and move your rubber band. Wiggle it and move it. Let's see what happens when we make the angle different and see what happens with the arc and if it goes further or if it goes less far. So let's move it just a little bit like that. Like I moved mine up quite a bit because it used to be down here. Try it that way. Let somebody do an experiment and try it that way and see if it goes further or if it goes less far.
I just did it.
Who did it?
Me.
Who's me? I can't tell who it is.
That's Jasper.
Lindley has her hand raised.
I did mine into this little hallway in my living room with the big catapult, and it flew 14 feet.
14 feet? That's fantastic. Try your small one and see if it can get that far too.
It flew 5 feet.
5 feet? Okay. Malachi, what about you?
I actually have a tip.
Okay, what's your tip?
Actually, what you need to do is you need to put the bottom one, thing, push it to where there's more length on this side where you're going to hold. And then that way you could do a lot more.
That's an interesting observation.
It has more launch.
Okay. So is it because it has more room? Oh, and I noticed, and I noticed too that you're actually holding yours up in the air like this.
Yeah.
And launching this way instead of it being on the ground. So that makes it a completely different trajectory, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you could aim.
Exactly, you can aim. So if you can aim it, that means you could tape this to the wall and see if you can hit it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So if you're holding this one up like this and flinging it this way and aiming, then you can put this on a wall somewhere and try to hit it and get your points. So if you put this on the wall, you can get points with this one. And if you put this on the wall, you can get points with this one too. Crossland said 100 centimeters. That's awesome. Okay, let's grab this one really quickly for any of those you that are ready. Ella, that was a wipeout, girl. Okay, and we're going to use our last big marshmallow for this one, and we're going to drop it in there. And if you pull it a little bit, it pops out just a little. Whoops, mine just came apart.
Mine only came with 4 marshmallows. 4 big marshmallows.
With 4 marshmallows?
Yeah, I don't have any more big marshmallows.
You didn't have another big marshmallow?
No.
Did you eat the other one?
No, I did not. I promise I did not.
Okay. All right. So I've got the big one in there. And if I aim it, it will go. And this is the one, when I made this at work, this is the one. Raise your hand if you have been to the extension office where I work. Kylie, Alexis, Maislin, a lot of you have been to my office. There's a really long hallway in the middle of the building, right? Yeah, McKenna B, you've been there. I stood at the very end of that hallway. At the end of the hallway, there's a storage room, and I stood right in front of that door. And I used this one, and I aimed it, and I launched it to see just how far I could get it to go. And it went all the way through the hallway and up to the front reception area, and it hit my director. Do you know what a director is? That's a fancy word for boss. I got to hit my boss with a marshmallow. How cool of a job is that? It was pretty cool. So this one will go pretty far. So you just have to kind of aim and pull, and it will go pretty far. And this one you can use to hit these targets. And if you have a second one, like even if you didn't cut the bottom out, you could have your friend hold the other cup, and you could launch it towards each other and try to catch it with the other cup. And then once you catch it in your cup, you launch it towards your friend, and then they try to catch it. You just want, if you're trying to catch it, then you don't want it to be, you want to aim your trajectory to where it's not coming straight at them. You want for it to go up in the air and arc back down so that they can stand under and try to catch it. Yes, Malachi.
For the cup, I got it to work.
Did you?
Yeah, because I put it inside out.
Okay.
So I'm pulling from the inside of the cup and then pushing.
Oh, so that's opposite, but did it work that way for you?
Yeah, it works perfect.
Did it go far?
Yeah.
Go ahead and measure. Try this one a few times and measure and see how far this one can go. Okay. Those of you that have measuring tapes, go ahead and test this one and see how far it can go. JC and Zoe, did you try yours? Which catapult, which launcher do you like the best? Let's everybody put in the chat which launcher they like the best, which one they think is the most fun. McKenna M says this one. She likes this one the best. It's fun to watch everybody do theirs. Cameron and Katie, which launcher is your favorite? We've got 2 catapults and a launcher. They all do the same thing. They all launch something. Ooh, the girls picked this one. Now, do you like it better when it's flat on the table this way or when you're aiming it this way? When you're aiming it this way, yeah.
It was about 17 feet.
17 feet, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Maddie says she likes the last one best too. Let's do, I know everybody's putting it in the chat, but I can't read it very well right now. I'll read it later, but let's go ahead and do a show of hands. And let's just take a, I'm going to get a pencil and paper. Let's do a quick vote and see which one's better. So for the cup one, if it's your favorite, go ahead and hold it up and shake it around for me so that I can see it. I want to count and see how many like it the best. Sadie, JC, Kylie, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got 9 for the cup. All right, if this one was your favorite, pick this one up and shake it around for me. I just want to take a vote. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh. That's actually pretty close, 7 and 9. And if this one was your favorite, pick this up and make it do a little dance for me. We've got Gatlin. This one was his favorite. Who else? Malachi, 1, 2. Lana, Morgan. Lindley's raising her hands. So we've got about 6. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 6. So the popper won, but there's really only just a couple difference in all the rest of them. But either way, you all get to walk away from this Zoom meeting with 3 really fun, cool launchers. And you can launch marshmallows. You can launch, what else did we decide? Cotton balls and pom-poms. And make sure that tonight, after tonight's meeting, that you go around and you pick up those marshmallows that you launched all over the house. You don't want to invite any unwanted critters into your home. And make sure not to eat the ones that you launched all over the house, because they will definitely have a lot of germs on them at this point, with your hands all over them and with going all over the carpet and the walls and the ceiling and the fan. Probably, they probably hit all different kinds of places. I hope you had a lot of fun. I had fun with this one. Thumbs up if you thought that this was a cool one.